Well, I'm now very pleased to welcome Ms. Hanan Ashrawi to the News Grid. She is an executive committee member for the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO. She joins us live from Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Thank you so much for being with us on the News Grid, Ms. Ashrawi. There are a lot of questions here from our viewers and a lot of comments, and I want to put some of them to you. But before that, I want to get your view on what President Trump announced yesterday. The plan itself is short on detail, but one interesting thing to note is that he said that the U.S. wasn't taking a position on any final boundaries of Jerusalem, that the outstanding issues would be decided by the two sides, that he still supports the two-state solution. Does that give you any kind of appeasement or hope?
No, that is rather disingenuous, you know. He's insulting our intelligence. He's saying, I haven't decided on the final boundaries, you decide, while he gives Israel a free hand to decide unilaterally. And Israel has actually, on the ground, it has determined the boundaries of Jerusalem. It carries out demographic engineering to annex maximum territory with minimum demography. It's trying to get rid of the heavily populated areas. It expands in a very strange Byzantine way in order to take as much land without people as possible. And it has carried out a systematic plan of transformation of the character, the history, the culture, the reality of the city, in addition to carrying out ethnic cleansing. So the issue is not sort of throwing us a bone and saying, look, you know, you can decide the boundaries. He has just given Israel permission and support to annex Jerusalem, to transform its character, to kick out the Palestinians, and to Judaize it without any kind of accountability.
Hanan Ashrawi, a comment here from one of our viewers on Facebook, one of our regular News Grid viewers, Hardman, who says, the peace process has been useless for 45 years. At least Trump has made some change. And there are a lot of people, as you know, who are saying that this could be perhaps part of a bigger plan that might yield some positive effects, something positive, given that the peace process has been all but dead. What do you say to that?
Yes. I think it forces people to face reality in many ways. It exposes really the hidden underbelly of the so-called peace process. Since 1991, this is the beginning of the peace process in which the Americans gave us a letter of assurance saying the U.S. does not recognize Israel's annexation of East Jerusalem, and it does not agree or approve of the building of settlements, particularly in and around Jerusalem. This was one of the bases on which we agreed to enter negotiations. But of course, not only did they sell us out, they changed their policy, they violated international law, and so on. Now, this removes any pretense. This finally ends the charade that the U.S. can be an even-handed peace broker, but it also carries out the transformation from Israel's patron, Israel's cover, Israel's supporter to Israel's partner. Now they are complicit in the crime.
The overwhelming feeling now is that the Oslo Accords have failed. There is anger, frustration, disappointment from the Palestinians, Ms. Ashrawi. Which direction does the Palestinian Authority go next to find recourse for an independent Palestinian territory? It's all good to call for protests and so on, but what is the Palestinian Authority going to do concretely to make sure that the Palestinian people have an independent state?
Well, the thing is, the question is freedom, and it's the PLO, not the Palestinian Authority, that takes political decisions. So the PLO has to determine a new course of action. I think this is a game changer. This is a serious transformation of the strategy that has been adopted since 1988, when the PNC, the Palestine National Council, accepted the two-state solution as a major and painful compromise, by the way. It's not our decision of choice. I mean, it's something that we did as a concession in order to have a two-state solution on historical Palestine. Now that Israel is succeeding in superimposing Greater Israel on all of historical Palestine, this means that the time has come to reconsider this strategy and to convene the bodies that will take a new direction, a strategic direction, as a result of a comprehensive national dialogue. And I think this is crucial because right now, as I said, the situation has changed on the ground, and we do need to ensure people's ability to withstand external pressures and threats. We do need to ensure that all the constraints that were imposed on us by the Declaration of Principles and by the world holding us to account while giving Israel a free hand, we have to move towards accountability for Israel through the International Criminal Court.
Right.
We have to move towards protection for the Palestinians through international organizations and so on. And we have to redefine everything, our relationship to Israel, our relationship to the U.S., and also our relationship to the rest of the world that pays lip service to a two-state solution, allowing Israel to destroy it.
Let me ask you and put to you another common theme that's coming out of all the different comments we're getting from our viewers, Ms. Ashrawi. They are focusing, a lot of them are focusing on how Arabs, they say, contributed in the loss of Jerusalem. They say there is no way Donald Trump could have undertaken this decision without studying and making sure that the Arabs will not really mind it. What do you respond to that?
Maybe they're giving him too much credit for planning. I don't know. Sometimes you think of Trump as a sort of knee-jerk reaction politician. But no, I'm sure that he did talk about it to some Arab leaders. However, from what we understood from the Arab leaders, they were taken aback, they were quite dismayed, and they were quite concerned because this affects them. This affects their credibility, their standing, especially those who are Trump's allies.
Ms. Ashrawi, just one last question. There have been various reports in the media the last few weeks about President Mahmoud Abbas being told when he unexpectedly traveled to Riyadh last month of a proposed Trump Mideast plan that was backed by the Saudi Crown Prince that would offer Palestinians limited sovereignty and no East Jerusalem as their capital. Can you confirm or deny that such a plan is in the works?
No, we heard those reports, and when I asked President Mahmoud Abbas, he said the Saudis were supportive of our position. So I don't want to comment on that other than to tell you there is no need to find an alternative Jerusalem. We know where Jerusalem is, and it's not Abu Dis. There is no need to wax creative and to try to redefine sovereignty when it comes to Palestine. We know that sovereignty involves borders, it involves freedom, it involves control over our airspace, territorial waters, crossing points. So Israel is trying, along with the Americans, to create population centers, some sort of islands under Israeli sovereignty, and you can call them whatever you want. And we will give you a village or a suburb of Jerusalem. You can call it Jerusalem if you want. These are things that really do not fly, do not carry. Nobody is going to accept this or even start contemplating this. The thing is, if the U.S. cannot make its way towards really adopting, let's say, a less biased, I don't want to say even-handed, they can never be, at least they should step out of the way and stop doing tremendous damage and threatening the peace, the security, and the stability of the whole region.
Ms. Hanan Ashrawi, thank you so very much for joining us on the News Grid. Hanan Ashrawi is an executive member of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. She was live from Ramallah. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.